Nerds, what is up? Welcome in. It's been a little while. Been on some vacation and obviously had 4th of July last week, but wanted to talk to y'all about Pokemon cards I have picked up this month. This is not an investing video. This is simply a video where I'm sharing what I've purchased, singles wise, in the last month or so and why I picked them up. So without further ado, let's dive into the cards here. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you enjoy Pokemon content, you are in the right place. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. Obviously, you see Pidgey from Obsidian Flames, a set that is certainly underrated. And I don't think it's necessarily underrated within the context of Scarlet and Violet, but a lot of people kind of don't realize what you have with Obsidian Flames, in my opinion. I think it's going to go down, a couple years from now, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. People are going to look back at Obsidian Flames and be like, man, that was a really good set. And the Scarlet and Violet era in general, I think is just a little underrated with its consistency. Every single set in Scarlet and Violet has brought a lot to the table, and I think this Pidgeot EX Special Illustration Rare, in conjunction with the Illustration Rare Pidgeotto and Illustration Rare Pidgey, is a really cool line from Obsidian Flames, and this card is just beautiful. I've talked to y'all before about some of the special illustration rares, the texturing and the hollow pattern that goes with the blues and the greens really well in some of my favorite special illustration rare style cards, and this is no exception. I absolutely love it. So this is like a $10, $11, $12 SIR of an original Pokemon 151 from Obsidian Flames, obviously, and to me it's just a really good value at this point. I think that it's a card I wanted, and it's a line I wanted with Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. So I'm still going to be picking up the other two, but very excited to have that one. Zygarde GX, I picked this up because obviously we have Legends ZA coming out soon, and a lot of times what I like to do, and what a lot of people like to do, is kind of take a look at, okay, we have this game coming up, or we have this set coming up. What is Pokemon that's going to be heavily involved in said set or said game, and what are the coolest cards that they have throughout history of Pokemon cards? And I think this Zygarde GX is one of the coolest, certainly for Zygarde, and obviously that's a shiny, and that's Zygarde's full form. In Legends ZA, I think we'll see 10% and 50% form, and then also the full form at some point. I'm very excited for that game. So got that one. I also got Zygarde EX, which is another full art, beautifully textured card. And this is, again, it's full form, but not the shiny version. So another card, happy to pick up, put in the collection, and kind of see what potentially happens. Track what happens with some Zygarde cards coming up with Legends ZA coming out. Sylveon V, this is a card, one of my personal chase cards, grail cards, Evolving Skies. Sylveon is my favorite Pokemon. I'm a huge Sylveon collector. I have the Sylveon VMAX. I actually pulled the Sylveon EX Special Illustration Rare from Prismatic. That's the only Special Illustration Rare I pulled, so I consider myself very lucky, even though I've opened like 150 plus packs of Prismatic and I've only pulled one SIR. It is the one SIR that I absolutely wanted. Obviously you'd be happy to pull Umbreon as well, but Sylveon I was really happy about, but picked this one up. A lot of cards right now, singles in general, are at close to all-time lows, or certainly lows within the last 6 months to a year. Sylveon V is no exception. It's definitely at a low point in 2025, and so I was happy to pick it up and add it to my Sylveon collection, which is growing and growing and growing. I'm very happy about it. Still need to get that Sylveon VMAX from Brilliant Stars, but other than and what else do I need? I think Sylveon and Gardevoir from Sun and Moon, that like $480 card, $450 card, whatever it is. Here's a Mega Venusaur EX. Again, Megas are coming back. That's going to be the next next era of Pokemon as Megas. So you saw that Mega Venusaur is going to have the highest HP of any Pokemon card ever. I think 380 HP coming up in the newest set for Megas. And so I was like, what's the coolest Mega Venusaur I can find? And I think this one's pretty awesome, going back to XY Evolutions, I believe. And then this Mega Lucario promo card It's an alt art promo. Obviously, Mega Lucario and Mega Gardevoir, I think, are going to be the stars of the first Mega set. And so Lucario is one of my favorite Pokemon, bar none. Certainly, if I'm putting together a party top 6, Lucario is going to be in it. So picked this up because I thought it was, going to be interesting to see how the market kind of handles Lucario, Mega Lucario cards moving forward. I thought this was by far the best Mega Lucario. You've got Furious Fists that Mega Lucario is kind of the star of, but to me, this alt art, full art style Mega card was the coolest one to pick up, certainly. Same thing there. Picked up Zamazenta, from Destined Rivals. This was the most modern card I picked up, and the reason I picked it up is because I love it. Interestingly enough, this artist actually did an example card for a Pokemon illustration contest, I think back in like 2023, of Zacian, and it's basically the same artwork but with a blue background, very similar style. It'd be really cool if we were able to get that along with this Zamazenta, but I was happy to pick this one up. It's super underrated illustration rare from Destined Rivals. I think it's like a $5, $6 card, and it's just something I really wanted to have in my personal collection. I'm a fan of Zacian and Zamazenta, and this card just spoke to me. I think it's a really cool artwork with the sun setting in the background, Zamazenta kind of there on the rock roaring, so pretty cool stuff there. Glaceon VMAX from Evolving Skies. I picked this one up. It's a really cool card. Obviously has Pikachu and Meryl and some other cute Pokemon there in the foreground, but this card I actually picked up because A, it's like down $100 versus a couple months ago, and B, I think it's a grading play. So I'm going to be submitting this to PSA. The rest of the cards we're going to look at are actually PSA 10s that I've picked up. So excited to look at those too. This is the Japanese Eevee Master Ball promo from Terrassel Festival, aka, in English, Prismatic Evolutions. So this is like $50. I think at some point this card was like triple that, maybe quadruple that. And to me, being able to pick up a Master Ball Eevee, I love the Master Ball textures across the entire card, and Eevee's incredibly cute. One of the stars of the show. And, being a Sylveon fan, I'm also a fan of Eevee in a big way. So I just thought that, and I think this about a good amount of the Japanese PSA 10 modern cards that are like super cheap right now. I just think even if you're not worried about the long-term value, just being able to find like really cool cards in a PSA 10, and yes, there's high pop reports, big time high populations of a lot of these Japanese PSA 10s, but that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about having them in my collection, and I really like some of them, including this Eevee Master Ball and including the Twilight Masquerade Eevee. Japanese, obviously, the Japanese version here of this Eevee, but again, has enough evolutions to have, or enough Eevees to have all the evolutions here. You have a little Hydreigon plush that one of the Eevees is playing with. They're just incredibly cute. And again, this card was so cheap. I just felt like it was an awesome value. Ceruledge is my favorite Pokemon from the Scarlet and Violet era. So I think this is like $25, $30. The Ceruledge from Surging Sparks in Japanese. And it's just a beautiful card that I couldn't pass up on. As we've got Murray digging back here. Our own little Dosh Bun is hanging out in the back here. Y'all have seen her if you've paid attention a lot. But we've got Gardevoir EX Special Illustration Rare. I picked this up for $185. And the reason I did is A, beautiful, underrated, undervalued, shiny Gardevoir from Paldean Fates. You have Bubble Mew, you have the Charizard as well. I think this Gardevoir is on par with those cards. Certainly with the Charizard. Bubble Mew has such a unique art, and Mew is such a popular Pokemon. I understand why that's up there by itself price-wise, but I just think, at the time when I bought this was only like 2.5 times more expensive than a raw copy of the card. And it's a little bit more expensive now. I haven't really seen it under $200 recently, but I bought it a couple weeks ago at $185. I thought it was a really good deal. I just wanted to add it to the collection because it's a beautiful card, and I think at the time it was a really good find and a really good value. Again, there's a lot of really good values right now in modern cards. Also picked up this Groudon in Japanese. It's like a $70 card in English, illustration rare. In Japanese, you can pick it up for like $30 to $40. I think I got it right under $40. And this is one of the coolest cards, illustration rare style cards from the era, from Scarlet and Violet and from Paradox Rift. To me, having Groudon with the kind of lake waves crashing onto the shore, volcanic situation behind it, I just think it's an epic scene. Groudon looking like an absolute badass. Still waiting for a Kyogre card. I think we'll get one soon, hopefully, in the next era. And then we've got Zeraora V from Silver Tempest. Super cheap. I think like $30, $35 for a PSA 10. Trainer gallery with the main character there from Sun and Moon. I just love it. I love Zeraora. If y'all been paying attention to the channel, you know I love Zeraora. I think that this card's really cool. The trainer gallery with the textured art here. To get it that cheap, I was just happy to get a PSA 10 Zeraora added to the collection there. And so those are the cards I've picked up in the last month. I've had a lot of fun in the hobby. Didn't go quite as crazy this past month as I did the month before. My birthday month, I traded in a lot to pick up a lot, and I had a really good time. But these are some cards I'm excited about. And I also picked up a couple cards that are getting graded right now. One of them, I'll put them up on screen, the stained glass legendary birds. The reason I picked it up was not because I expected it to double or triple in value, but because I thought it was so clean that it's such a beautiful card that I thought I could potentially get a 10 in it. So I went ahead and picked that up at $60. I think it's now like over $125. I remember at the time in the card shop, a guy next to me was like, "Man, I remember when I picked that up for like $20." It's like, yeah, good for you. Happy for you, but I'm also happy that I was able to pick it up at $60 because it has absolutely shot to the moon. And that's the type of card I think might have some staying power. You see the Greninja Gold Star from Celebrations have some crazy boom. I don't think that's as real as the Legendary Birds Stained Glass because that is such a unique card with such fan favorite Pokemon. Even if it does have a dip, I think that card is going to go down as a real banger and a real legendary card. No pun intended. And I also picked up the Rayquaza GX promo card, shiny Rayquaza. Obviously, the black shiny Rayquaza is just awesome Pokemon, but I also picked that one up because I thought it had a really good chance at a PSA 10. So doing some grading plays certainly lately, having a good time doing that, waiting to see what we get. Obviously, it's taken a long time for PSA to get things done, but anxiously awaiting, and we'll talk about some of those grading plays, how they go once I get them back, and obviously going to get this Glaceon sent out to PSA as well, see how it goes. Really appreciate y'all tuning in, supporting the channel. We're having some fun here. Please like and subscribe if y'all enjoy the content. Have a good one.